What's going on, mama? Something just dawned on me. I ain't been home in some months.
A young man with a dream standing on the Voice stage in 2014. Cut to 2024. The same man now selling out stadiums, breaking records, and becoming the most talked about name in country music. But what happened in between? How did Morgan Wallen go from reality show reject to the biggest thing in country music? Today, we're going to talk about the real story, and trust me, it's wilder than anything you could imagine. They wanted me to sing pop music. It was terrible. Those were Morgan Wallen's own words about his time on The Voice. But how did a small-town Tennessee boy who never even wanted to be on the show become country music's most controversial superstar? The answer involves a hard rock singer, a baseball injury, and a series of events that would change country music forever. Before we talk about what happened after The Voice, we need to understand how Morgan even got there. Born in Sneedville, Tennessee, in 1993, Morgan was the son of a Baptist preacher and a teacher. But here's what most people don't know. Morgan's first love wasn't even music. It was baseball. That's right, the voice behind Whiskey Glasses was originally destined for the baseball diamond. Imagine being so good at baseball that colleges are lining up to recruit you. That was Morgan's reality at Gibbs High School in Corriton, Tennessee, the same school that produced country legend Kenny Chesney. But fate had other plans. After taking a break from baseball, Morgan returned for one final game. What happened next would change everything. A career-ending elbow injury that required surgery. Just like that, his baseball dreams were over. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. Remember how I said Morgan never wanted to be on The Voice? His mother, Leslie Wallen, literally signed him up without his knowledge. But getting on the show wasn't as simple as showing up for one audition. Morgan had to audition 4 separate times before even making it to the TV rounds. When he finally made it, he got chair turns from both Usher and Shakira. Following his mother's advice, he chose Team Usher, later switching to Team Adam Levine. But behind the scenes, something wasn't right. The producers had a vision for Morgan that couldn't have been further from who he really was. Let's break down what really happened on The Voice. The producers saw Morgan and thought pop star. They dressed him up, gave him pop songs, and tried to mold him into something he wasn't. In Morgan's own words to CMT's Cody Allen, "They wanted me to sing pop music, and I was like, well, I guess if these people who know way more than I do think I should sing pop, maybe I should." Morgan Wallen's elimination from The Voice after performing country music proved ironically fortuitous. His pivotal meeting with Adam Smash's lead singer, Sergio Sanchez, sparked an unexpected musical partnership. After the show, they formed Morgan Wallen and Them Shadows in Nashville, creating a unique blend of country and hard rock evident in tracks like Sleep When We're Dead and Rocky Top Stomp. Through Sergio, Morgan assembled his enduring band, including drummer Mark Taco Anino, bassist Luke Cowboy Rice, and guitarists Dominic Frost and Tyler Tomlinson. This same group not only continues backing Morgan, but also maintains a metal side project called Mechanics Wanted, demonstrating their musical versatility. The next chapter in Morgan's story reads like a country music fairy tale. Through his connections with Sergio, Morgan was introduced to Bill Ray and Paul Trust of Panacea Records. In 2015, they took a chance on him, releasing his first EP standalone and his first single, Spin You Around. Now, Spin You Around might not have made waves when it first released, but here's the incredible part. That same song would later be certified gold, selling over 500,000 copies. Talk about a delayed reaction. But the real game changer was yet to come. Morgan's manager, Dirk Hemsath of Working Group Artist Management, sent out a demo to Big Loud Records' Seth England. After an audition for England's partners, Morgan secured both a record deal and a publishing deal. In 2016, he released The Way I Talk, and suddenly, country radio started paying attention. But it was his 2018 debut album, If I Know Me, that really set things on fire. The album gave us hits like Up Down with Florida Georgia Line, which hit #1 on Billboard's country airplay charts. Whiskey Glasses followed suit. becoming his second #1. Chasing You peaked at #2 on Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart, and just like that, Morgan Wallen wasn't just in the game. He was changing it. In 2021, Morgan did something unprecedented. When most artists were playing it safe with traditional album releases, he dropped Dangerous, the double album, 30 tracks plus 2 bonus songs. This wasn't just an album, it was a statement. Let's break down the numbers. Dangerous spent 10 weeks at #1 on Billboard's 200 chart, shattering records for a country album. Songs like Sand in My Boots, Wasted on You, 7 Summers, More Than My Hometown, and Somebody's Problem dominated radio and streaming. The album has since gone double platinum, cementing Morgan's place at the top of country music.
Music star Morgan Wallen was arrested. He allegedly threw a chair from the roof of a bar. This was in downtown Nashville last night. Arrest documents say a chair landed a few feet from police officers. Video footage shows Wallen throwing the chair. He was arrested and charged with reckless endangerment and disorderly conduct.
But success doesn't come without its challenges. In May 2020, Morgan was arrested outside Kid Rock's Honky Tonk in Nashville for disorderly conduct and public intoxication. According to the arrest affidavit, he was removed from the bar after kicking glass items inside. Officers gave him several chances to leave with his friends, but he refused. Then in February 2021 came the incident that would change everything. TMZ released a video of Morgan using a racial slur outside his home. The response was swift and severe. His label suspended him, radio stations pulled his music, and streaming services removed him from their playlists. Award shows refused to let him participate, even when he was nominated. But what happened next surprised everyone. Instead of disappearing, Morgan took time to reflect and work on himself. He made surprise appearances at shows with Eric Church and Jason Aldean. He started dropping unreleased songs on social media, keeping his connection with fans alive. When he finally returned to touring, the response was overwhelming. Shows sold out in minutes, with additional dates added to meet demand. Resale tickets were going for thousands of dollars. His numbers were so impressive that he was being mentioned in the same conversation as the Rolling Stones for ticket sales. Today, Morgan commands over 9 million monthly streams on Spotify alone. He's collaborating across genres, from his work with Lil Durk on Broadway Girls to his emotional ballad Flower Shops with Ernest. But perhaps the most significant change in Morgan's life came on July 10th, 2020, when he became father to his son, Indigo Wilder. One of the most fascinating aspects of Morgan's journey is how he's helping to evolve country music. Just as the genre has changed throughout history, from the days when electronic instruments weren't allowed at the Grand Ole Opry through the outlaw era, to Randy Travis's pop country crossover, Morgan is pushing boundaries in his own way. His sound blends traditional country elements with rock influences, pop sensibilities, and even hip-hop collaborations. It's the evolution that might have seemed impossible during his time on The Voice, but it's exactly what's made him stand out in today's music landscape. Morgan Wallen's transformation from voice reject to country music superstar demonstrates how authenticity can triumph over setbacks. Despite facing controversies and industry pressure to conform, he stayed true to his artistic vision. His unprecedented success proves that embracing one's genuine identity, even with its flaws, can resonate more powerfully than following a prescribed path.
The Voice is Danielle Bradberry. Team Black.
Danielle Bradberry went from a 16-year-old The Voice winner in 2013 to a rising country star. Her hit songs now reach millions, proving talent and hard work pay off. But what really happened to her after The Voice will shock you. Let's take a closer look.
Oh my gosh, you're so good.
Thank you.
And you're so little. Yes, she is. She's just little. Yes, she is.
I want to be the guy that introduces you to Nashville.
My heart goes out to Blake.
Yeah.
Let's go back to where it all started. When Bradberry stepped onto the Voice stage for her blind audition, she sang Taylor Swift's Mean. This wasn't just any performance. It was so good that 3 coaches turned their chairs around: Adam Levine, Blake Shelton, and Usher. She picked Blake Shelton as her coach, and this choice would help shape her entire career. Throughout the competition, she kept impressing everyone with her powerful voice and sweet personality. She sang country classics like Maybe It Was Memphis and Heads Carolina, Tails California, getting better with each performance.
It was going through my mind the fact that any one of us could have been the winner, and Swan Brothers and Michelle deserved it so much, and they were amazing. And when I got my name called, of course y'all saw me cry my eyes out. It was overwhelming.
The big moment came when Bradberry won season 4 of The Voice. At just 16, she became the youngest winner in the show's history at that time. She remembers the moment clearly, confetti falling everywhere, a heavy trophy in her hands, and fireworks lighting up the sky. It was overwhelming for a teenager who had never performed much before the show, but this was just the beginning of her musical journey, and she was ready to work hard to make her dreams come true.
Being in the studio, other than The Voice, it's different in a way. I mean, you're recording your own song, and it's just crazy to think, but it's great being in there, and yeah, it's so much fun. Compared to being on The Voice and everything after The Voice, it's pretty much more crazy. You're constantly going everywhere. I mean, you're not in the same place, and it's a whirlwind, but so far so good.
Right after winning The Voice, things started moving fast for Bradberry. Just 2 days after her win, she signed a record deal with Big Machine Records, the same label that worked with Taylor Swift. Her first single, The Heart of Dixie, came out in July 2013, and by November, she had released her first album. She even got to perform at the Grand Ole Opry, which is a huge honor for any country singer. She was living her dream, touring with big stars like Brad Paisley and Hunter Hayes. But the music industry isn't always easy, even for voice winners. Bradberry spent the next few years working hard to find her own sound and style. She didn't want to just be known as that girl who won The Voice. She wanted to be known for her own music. In 2017, she released her second album, I Don't Believe We've Met, which showed how much she had grown as an artist. The album included songs like Sway, which has now been streamed more than 62 million times on Spotify.
Hey, we're all in the same.
During the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, Bradberry kept making music even when she couldn't perform live. She released songs like Never Have I Ever and Girls in My Hometown. She also started working with other artists, showing she could do more than just country music. She sang with Thomas Rhett and Nick Jonas, and even appeared on a song for the Charlie's Angels movie soundtrack. These collaborations helped her reach new fans and try different styles of music.
Never have I ever been in love.
2023 turned out to be a big year for Bradberry. She released a song called A Special Place that got everyone's attention, including Kelly Clarkson, who covered it on her TV show. This was a special moment for Bradberry, seeing someone she looked up to singing her song. She also went on her first headlining tour, called the A Special Place Tour, which means she was the main performer instead of opening for other artists.
Special Place is that anthem song, and which, starting with that, I already thought that was intriguing as a title. When I saw the song to listen to, Special Place is like, a lot goes through your head. You're like, I wonder what this song is about. And then when you play it, it totally is way different than you think.
Looking back at the last 10 years, Bradberry has come a long way from that nervous teenager on The Voice. She's released 3 albums, toured with some of country music's biggest stars, and built a strong following of loyal fans. But what makes her story special is how she's grown not just as a singer, but as a person. She's taken control of her career, writing more of her own songs, and making music that truly represents who she is.
The room is hot and the pool is cold. The TV.
But wait, there is more. Her recent music shows how much she's grown as an artist. In 2024, she's been super busy, releasing 3 new songs in just 7 weeks. First came Younger and Wiser in April. showing fans a more mature side of her music. Then she dropped Wedding or a Funeral in May, which got people talking because it seemed to hint at problems in her past relationship. Her latest song, Broken Boy, came out in June, and fans are loving this new direction in her music.
My best friend didn't like you when we first met. Was hard to not let that get into my head.
The biggest news came during a concert in Nashville when Bradberry announced something her fans had been waiting for. Her third studio album, called Danielle, has came out on September 6, 2024. What makes this album special is that it's her first independent release, meaning she's not working with a big record label anymore. This shows how much confidence she's gained in controlling her own career and making music her way. Looking at her success on social media and streaming platforms tells an interesting story, too. Her song, Sway, didn't just get 62 million streams on Spotify, it helped prove that voice winners can have lasting careers in music. When Kelly Clarkson covered her song A Special Place on The Kelly Clarkson Show, it was like everything had come full circle. Here was one of the biggest names in music recognizing Bradberry's talent, not as a reality show winner, but as a serious artist. Her work with other artists shows how versatile she's become. She's not just sticking to country music anymore. She's worked with Zac Brown Band and Thomas Rhett in country music, but also with Diplo in dance music and appeared on movie soundtracks. She even recorded a Spanish version of her song Never Have I Ever with Mexican artist Kurt, showing she's willing to try new things and reach different audiences. The touring life has been busy for Bradberry, too. After finishing her A Special Place tour, she joined Jordan Davis on his Damn Good Time tour. They already worked together on a song called Midnight Crisis, and fans are excited to see them perform together. These tours are different from her early days when she was just opening for other artists. Now she's a co-headliner, sharing the spotlight with established stars. When asked about her old coach Blake Shelton, Bradberry shows nothing but gratitude. Even though they haven't talked much lately, she says they're always supporting each other from far away. Whenever they do meet, they share big bear hugs, showing that some connections from The Voice last long after the show ends. This kind of relationship has helped her stay grounded even as her career keeps growing. Looking ahead, Bradberry seems focused on making music that means something to her. Her new album, Danielle, is special because she's naming it after herself, not her full name like her first album, but just Danielle. This suggests she's more comfortable with who she is as an artist and person. The songs she's releasing are more personal and honest than ever before. Her story is important for young artists to hear because it shows that winning a TV show is just the beginning. The real work comes afterward, and it takes years of dedication to build a lasting career in music. Bradberry has managed to do what many reality show winners struggle with. She's created her own identity beyond the show that made her famous.
So I got to a certain point that I always want to get better and better. So with my stand-up and everything, I always want to perfect it. So when I told people I wasn't cussing as much, it was me studying myself, saying I don't want to be like every other comedian and have a cussing word every 2 seconds.
Right.
Chris Tucker went from cracking jokes on small comedy stages to becoming one of Hollywood's biggest stars. His iconic role as Smokey in Friday made him a fan favorite almost instantly. So why didn't he return for next Friday? Was it a matter of money, or was something more personal at play? Chris Tucker finally sets the record straight. Let's uncover the truth.
The Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey. Oh, Lord.
Before we proceed further, let's start from the beginning. In 1995, Friday became an instant hit in theaters across America. The movie brought audiences a fresh comedy style, with Chris Tucker's performance as Smokey standing out as a fan favorite. His fast-talking, energetic character made people laugh and helped make the movie a classic. But when Next Friday came out in 2000, Tucker wasn't in it. His absence left many fans wondering what happened to the actor who made Smokey such a memorable character. Let's see what his fan r/Blankies post on Reddit. Does a bunch of hits in the mid-90s in short succession, then radio silence after Rush Hour 2 for 6 years, then Rush Hour 3 in 2007, and he's only sporadically been in stuff since. Did some shit go down with him that I'm not aware of? The movie's impact on culture was huge, especially in how it showcased Tucker's natural talent for comedy and his ability to create unforgettable moments on screen.
I can do whatever I want to do.
Stop hitting it so hard. Hold up, you fucking up the rotation. Puff, puff, give. Puff, puff, give. Fucking up the rotation. You can get killed with somebody else.
Tucker's story in comedy began in 1990 at the Comedy Act Theater in Atlanta, Georgia. This small theater gave many new comedians their start, and for Tucker, it became the place where he found his true calling. After feeling a strong connection with his first audience and hearing their laughter, Tucker knew he wanted to be a comedian for life. He worked hard every night, developing his unique style of high-energy comedy and quick jokes that would later make him famous. His decision to pursue comedy wasn't an easy one. He even joked about not joining the military because they get up too early. This choice showed how committed he was to making his dream of being a comedian come true.
Sup, man? This motherfucker. Pissed off, man. I am. Motherfucking mama calling me for Christmas, wanting a Christmas gift and shit. Always want something. So, man, why the fuck every time you call, you always want something? Why the fuck we just can't talk? You know I ain't got no money. I told her, I said I'm broke. Broke as a motherfucker. I'm so broke, if a nigga rob me, he'll just be practicing.
Moving to Los Angeles was Tucker's next big step. He spent 2 years performing at different comedy clubs throughout the city, working to improve his act and get noticed. His breakthrough came in 1992 on HBO's Def Comedy Jam, where his electric performance caught everyone's attention. The show was known for launching comedy careers, and Tucker's appearance opened many doors in Hollywood, leading to his first movie role in House Party 3 in 1994. During this time, Tucker was building connections with other performers and learning the ins and outs of the entertainment industry. His natural talent and hard work were starting to pay off in bigger ways. Getting the role of Smokey in Friday wasn't as smooth as many might think. The casting director, Kim Hart, described his first audition as horrible. Tucker was tired from touring, and he hadn't yet learned how to adapt his comedy style to movie acting. But the filmmakers saw something special in his ability to improvise and create funny moments on the spot. They gave him another chance, which turned out to be the right decision. The movie was made in just 20 days, and Tucker's natural comedy talent helped make Smokey one of the most memorable characters. During filming, he worked alongside Ice Cube and other talented actors, creating a chemistry that would make the movie special.
Craig fucked up. You fucked up.
Inhale, exhale. Roll it up, light it up, smoke it up. Inhale, exhale.
You said this was indo. It smelled like outdoor.
Hey, wait a minute, man. I ain't gonna be supplying you. You gonna be talking about my shit.
Oh, shit. Here come. Oh, man. This bud is kicking in.
Don't start tripping, Craig.
But wait, there is more. After Friday's success, Tucker's career took off in a big way. His biggest break came with Rush Hour in 1997, starring alongside Jackie Chan. The movie was a huge hit, making $244 million worldwide. This success led to Tucker signing a $45 million deal for 2 movies with New Line Cinema, making him one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors. He went on to appear in other big movies like Money Talks and The Fifth Element, showing he could do more than just one type of role. These different parts helped Tucker prove he was a versatile actor who could handle action, comedy, and even serious dramatic scenes.
It was so much fun, man, working with Jackie Chan, man. This guy, he's amazing, man. I definitely prepared myself because I knew it was Jackie Chan. I didn't want to, let him down. I worked out, lift weights, ran, the first one, made sure I was in tip-top shape. So whenever he was like, come on, I was ready.
Behind you.
But he made it so easy, man, with the martial arts and all, stuff. He was just swinging me around. Basically, was just following him, man. Go this way, kick this way, look this way. Made it look like I knew what I was doing, so it was good.
The main reason Tucker didn't return for next Friday was money. But there was more to the story. While the original Friday only paid its actors around $5,000, Rush Hour offered Tucker $20 million. As his co-star John Witherspoon said, "I wouldn't go back to Friday either." The huge difference in pay made Tucker's choice seem obvious, but beyond the financial reasons, Tucker had gone through personal changes. He had become a committed Christian and wanted to choose roles that matched his new values. He started moving away from explicit humor and looked for different kinds of comedy that still made people laugh without going against his beliefs. This change in his personal life had a big impact on his career choices.
Like, what was that turning point like for you when seemingly the world is at your fingertips and everybody has something to offer you at this point, but you choose to take a strong stance for your faith? Like, what was that transition like for you?
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't know. I'm a perfectionist. And when I reach a certain level, I want to go to the next level. So when in Hollywood, with everything I've done, back then, from Def Jam, did it great. And it took me to touring, and then took me to give me opportunity to get in movies and stuff. I did a little small part in House Party 3, and I had about a minute, 2 minutes to do my thing. That got me an agent, and then from there, I started getting co-starring roles. I got Fridays, and then I think I got a few other ones, and then Rush Hours. So I got to a certain point that I always want to get better and better. So with my stand-up and everything, I always want to perfect it.
In the 2000s, Tucker took a break from Hollywood to focus on his personal life. During this time, he faced some serious challenges, including owing $14 million in taxes. This problem wasn't because he was trying to avoid taxes, but because of poor accounting and business management. To address these issues, he returned to stand-up comedy, performing shows across the country. These performances helped him reconnect with audiences and earn money to pay off his debt. He also became more selective about his movie roles, choosing projects that aligned with his personal growth and values. Through all these changes, Tucker kept growing as a performer. His comedy style evolved to reflect his new values, but he never lost his ability to make people laugh. In a 2014 interview, he explained how being a Christian changed his approach to comedy. "I have to dig deeper to find something that's still funny, and now it's harder. I like the challenge." This showed how Tucker was willing to work harder to create comedy that matched who he had become. Recently, Tucker announced he would return for Rush Hour 4, showing he's still open to revisiting past successes when they match his current goals.
Everyone wants to know, is Rush Hour 4 happening? Is that ever going to happen?
I don't know. I want to do it, and I heard that it's getting close to, coming to happen, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
This decision proves that Tucker isn't against doing sequels. He just wants to make sure they fit with who he is now. His journey from a young comedian in Atlanta to a Hollywood star, and then to someone who carefully chooses his roles based on his values, shows how much he has grown and changed over the years. Tucker's story is about more than just leaving a successful movie franchise. It's about an artist who changed and grew, making choices that weren't always popular but were right for him. From his early days doing stand-up in Atlanta to becoming one of Hollywood's biggest stars, and then choosing a more personal path, Tucker has always followed his way. Even with the challenges he's faced, including financial problems and career changes, he's stayed true to his love of making people laugh, just in ways that better match who he is today. Which one is your favorite Chris performance? Share your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe for more updates.
By the way, I loved your speech last year when you got this award.
I loved yours too, Michael.
Did you? I didn't make one, Sean. I wasn't here. I was working. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity.
At 91, Michael Caine finally reveals the untold truth about Sean Connery. The struggles, the triumphs, and the bond that shaped a Hollywood icon. This is the story you've never heard about the man behind James Bond.
My name is Bond. James Bond. My instructions were implicit. I was to leave for Jamaica in 2 hours. License to kill.
The year was 1962. Cinema was about to change forever, though nobody knew it yet, when Sean Connery first stepped onto the screen in Doctor No. Wearing that impeccably tailored tuxedo and delivering the now immortal line, Bond, James Bond, he didn't just introduce himself. He launched a cultural phenomenon that would define sophisticated masculinity for generations to come. Yet the path to this defining moment was anything but certain. Producers Albert R. Broccoli and Harry Saltzman had their sights set on established stars like Cary Grant and David Niven for the role of James Bond. Connery, with his working class background and unrefined edges, seemed an unlikely choice to play Ian Fleming's sophisticated spy.
What changed their minds wasn't just Connery's good looks or his commanding presence. It was something more intangible. During his audition, Connery displayed an almost preternatural understanding of the character. As he left the room, adjusting his collar with casual confidence, Broccoli turned to his team and declared, "We found James Bond." That instant of recognition would alter not just Connery's life, but the entire landscape of cinema. The pressure of embodying such an iconic character was immense. Connery had to transform himself, learning not just how to throw a punch convincingly, but how to order wine, play baccarat, and move through high society as if he'd been born to it. Sean studied everything, Michael Caine reveals. He wasn't just playing Bond, he was creating him from the ground up. Success came at a cost. As Bond's popularity exploded, Connery found himself trapped in a golden cage of his own making. "I don't hate James Bond," he once confided to Caine, "but I don't want to be remembered only for this character." The irony wasn't lost on either man. The role that had given Connery everything was now threatening to take away his identity as an actor. The pressure became so intense that Connery stepped away from the role after You Only Live Twice in 1967. Yet the pull of Bond proved difficult to resist, leading to his return in Diamonds Are Forever, 1971, and later in the non-Eon production Never Say Never Again, 1983. These decisions weren't made lightly. As Caine reveals, Sean struggled with Bond. He knew the role had made him, but he also knew it could break him if he let it. What happens when two men from humble beginnings find themselves at the apex of Hollywood? The friendship between Connery and Caine offers a remarkable answer. Their first meeting at a London party in the 1960s sparked an immediate connection that would last over 5 decades. Both had fought their way up from poverty. Connery from Edinburgh's working-class streets, Caine from London's East End. Caine recalls, "We recognized something in each other. That hunger to succeed? Yes, but also a determination to never lose ourselves in the process." Their shared background created a bond that transcended the superficial relationships common in Hollywood. They understood each other in a way few others could, having walked similar paths from poverty to stardom. Their friendship was tested during the filming of The Man Who Would Be King in 1975. Facing brutal conditions in Morocco, many cast and crew members struggled with the heat and isolation. During a particularly threatening storm, while others panicked, Connery's response revealed his character. "We just need to get through it like we've done all our lives," he said, laughing in the face of adversity. This resilience, this ability to face challenges with humor and determination, defined not just their friendship, but their approach to life itself. For decades, Connery's reputation was complicated by rumors and controversies. Was he truly difficult to work with? Why did he really leave Hollywood at the height of his success? Caine's revelations paint a more nuanced picture than the tabloid headlines ever could. According to Caine, Connery wasn't difficult. He was demanding, both of himself and others. Sean believed that if something was worth doing, it was worth doing right, Caine explains. He couldn't tolerate mediocrity, especially in himself. This uncompromising commitment to quality ultimately led him to abandon the Bond franchise after Diamonds Are Forever. Connery believed the character had become too commercialized, losing the depth and complexity he had worked so hard to develop. The controversial 1965 interview where Connery made remarks about women haunted him for years. Caine reveals that his friend deeply regretted those words and worked to evolve his views over time. Sean was capable of growth, Caine insists. He wasn't afraid to admit when he was wrong and learn from his mistakes. That's rare in anyone, but especially rare in Hollywood. Connery's decision to leave Hollywood at the peak of his career puzzled many. After winning an Academy Award for The Untouchables and starring in blockbusters like Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, he chose to retreat to a quieter life in the Bahamas. Sean told me, "I can't stand the lies anymore," Caine revealed. He'd reached a point where the artifice of Hollywood life had become unbearable. This wasn't a decision made in haste or anger. Rather, it reflected Connery's growing desire for authenticity in his life. He turned down numerous multi-million-dollar offers, including roles that might have won him more awards. Instead, he chose to focus on what truly mattered to him: his family, his art, and his privacy. Few knew about Connery's passionate pursuit of painting in his later years. His wife, Micheline Roquebrune, an accomplished artist herself, described these works as silent confessions. Each canvas became a window into his soul, filled with memories of his beloved Scotland and their life together. "When I hold a brush," Connery once told Caine, "I feel like I'm telling a story just like when I act. But this time the story is mine. His dedication to family life surprised many who knew him only as the sophisticated screen icon. His relationship with Micheline became his anchor, leading him to say, "Micheline is my James Bond because she always saves me from my mistakes." This quiet devotion showed a side of Connery that few got to witness, the tender, vulnerable man behind the legendary persona. Connery's battle with Alzheimer's disease in his final years revealed both the fragility of life and the strength of love. Micheline chose to care for him personally, watching as the sharp mind and vibrant personality that had captivated millions gradually faded. Yet even in his most vulnerable moments, glimpses of their deep connection remained.